Hello summoners, welcome back to another tier list update for the month of November, even though it's kind of already very close to December at this point. But we have two new characters and a buff to talk about, and two other changes. Not much changes in this tier list update, but we have Shuri, Atuma, Rocket Raccoon buff, Massacre, and the Juggernaut because of Battlegrounds. These two characters were taken one tier up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about Massacre and Juggernaut first. So Massacre is pretty crazy as it turns out. He has been in the game for a very long time and people have liked him for a very long time, but in Battlegrounds, the SP2, he's kind of tricky to play. I would say this: if you are a very new player, maybe he wouldn't be the character for you, but if you are experienced, if you practice him a little bit, he has crazy damage potential. His damage over time plus the SP2 into the block is really good. He has amazing damage output, and that's pretty much it for Massacre. He has amazing damage, kind of like Agent Venom with synergies, but not as good. But still, you don't need a synergy with him. That's the pro there. Amazing champion for Battlegrounds, can take down so many different fights, and he's very impressive. He has impressed me a lot. Same Valkyrie, I think, also was updated. She has been doing some really amazing stuff. And when it comes to Juggernaut, I was recently editing Fintech's match in the KT1 Battleground, like every zone Battleground tournament. Juggernaut is pretty crazy. Again, he was buffed a few months ago. Everybody liked the buff, everybody knew he's good now, but the potential is just really high. He hits extremely hard, finishes fights very quickly, and that's Juggernaut. He is pretty impressive. And a lot of people might think that a lot of my rankings are kind of based on damage. Well, that is not true. Like Atuma and Shuri, my main problem with them is damage, but I'll talk about that a little bit more kind of now. So here's the thing, they're both ramp up characters. My main problem with ramp up characters in general is I don't really get where you would use them, or especially if you have better options. First, let's talk about Everest. So shorter fights, of course, ramp up characters are bad in short fights. Everybody knows that. But in Everest content, that's somewhere ramp up champions shine. But my point, what I think is, why wouldn't you use Aegon or Strife or Guillotine 2099, maybe, if it's Labyrinth or something? They're probably gonna do much better than Atuma or Shuri. And if you're talking about Act 8, decent health pool fights, if you are going to use someone with ramp up, why not use someone who can carry over that ramp up, like Hercules? So that's kind of what I think about Atuma and Shuri. You have to do a long ramp up, and you have to do it every single time, every single fight. And even with Shuri, all those shocks, the damage over time, the kind of numbers you expect with 99 shocks is not there, if you ask me. And Atuma again is great after the SP2, but before that you have to do 2 SP1s. It's a long time, dude. I'd say at least there are 50 or 40-50 champions who are done against Winter Soldier by the point you start getting good damage with Atuma. So that's how I feel about those two. Atuma is going to be a good defender, I think, and he will have his uses. There are champions who might, a few months later, I might be looking back at this video and how did I miss this? How they're so good now? And this has happened in the past, but right now, this is how I feel about them. But I will keep my eye on them for future content. Maybe there is going to be something where they are the best counters and where they're really good. And they're not bad characters at all, I will say this. Somebody tweeted actually recently that this has been a bad year for champions, which is something I do not agree with at all. Because this is, believe it or not, the most tempted I've been about opening featured crystals. I'm someone who never opens featured crystals, but because we have champions like Scorpion, Quicksilver, Rintra, Gallon, Hulkling, so many new champions who are meta champions in Battlegrounds, that I actually was pretty tempted to open features this time. So overall, I think it's a very solid year for new characters, but probably not a great month for new characters this time. Although I will say this, the design of the champion, both kit wise, animation wise, is really good. On paper they feel really good. The damage is just where I kind of found them to be a little bit disappointing personally. And then we are going to move on to the final topic for today. It's going to be a quick video. By the way, let me just scroll down. You can take a look. I will leave a link to this in the description and pinned comment. And there are some other tabs here like synergies, the DPS. This is done against Winter Soldier with Suicides with rank 5-star characters, if you want to check those out. But now finally let's talk about Rocket Raccoon. I really like him. His buff is amazing. He always had good damage, and he has utility, and that's pretty much all you ask from a character in my opinion. He was always fun to play. I really liked his model and animations and big SP2s and crits and stuff. Still there. Plus you get some extra utility with the heal countering stuff, and he's kind of like a mini warlock now. Very impressive. I think he has the highest potential out of Shuri and Atuma and him to go to the next tier. But it's still early. I want to look at some gameplay and then decide whether he deserves to be here with the cool kids. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Like, share, subscribe, stay safe, have a good one, and bye bye.